Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time once again for some more of Steve Jackson's Sorcery. I know, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've been very busy enjoying playing a lovely new game, and unfortunately this one has fallen by the wayside a little while. Well, let's see if I can do something about that. I've got half an hour or so free today, so let's have a quick fun session and see how it goes. Last time I spent a whole session trying to find a guard's uniform and was unable to do so. Every uniform I found was on the body of a guard, and they didn't seem too willing to remove them. And they didn't seem particularly eager to attack me either, so that I could kill them and take their uniform off them and have it be all bloodstained. So, I think it's time to go and confront those guards at the base of the rise once again and see what I can do. You return to the east side of the bustling square. The arch to the merchant's building leads away here. An alley runs past it. A pillory sits to the north of here. The sun is now in the lowest quarter of the sky, while I'll make a move. You could cross the square or explore the fringes. I think I'm going to head over here towards the stocks. You walk over to the pillory. Behind it a gallows looms, noose swaying in the breeze. The sun has almost set and the sky has turned a deep purple. It'll be dark soon. A prisoner is here, dressed in rags. The skin on his neck and wrists has been rubbed raw by the wood. He lifts his head just enough to scowl as you approach. I'll pass him by. This could be one of the Archmage's disguises, but I doubt it. Deciding the poor creature is best left alone, you say nothing and walk by. He curses your back as you leave. You could head out into the square or cut across the guarded road that heads uphill from here. I should probably go that way. Night has fallen. You need to rest, especially on an empty stomach. The guards are still here, near their hut. One of the guards spies you and stumps forwards. The nearest comes out to greet you with a growl. "Well?" the guard snaps. I think I should cast a spell and see what's available to me. Maybe I can have them all dance a merry jig. Will the dogs dance as well? Would the dogs be stupid enough for me to control with law? I mean, I could always teleport past them, right? Dim. Would it make the one guard stupid, or could I make all of them stupid? Raz, to raise a sharp sword, sharpen my blade. Kid would create an illusion. Possibly a useful spell in this situation. Law. Could I have the dogs cause a fuss? Or maybe the dogs attack the guards, so I could sneak past. God, illusion of worship. Make the guards worship me. Maybe they'd think I'm the Archmage. Would the dogs let me past, though? Is this a situation where I may need to actually just cast 2 spells? Hot? No. How? Probably not a bad idea, to be honest. Okay. DKGHL. No other starting letters. So let's not sharpen our sword. We got how and... Right, law or dim. I mean, if the guards are busy with the dogs anyway, right, then it doesn't matter how stupid the guards are. You move the stars into alignment around you, but nothing happens. Then you remember this spell only works on non-intelligent creatures. Okay, I'll turn away. So, yep. Too far from the dogs. So, head back, and I'll go back in again. You head back to the north side of the square. This section is dominated by the wide road that leads upwards towards the inner tower. Guards flank the way, scowling at anyone who gets too close. Nearby are the stocks once again. The moon climbs the sky, filling the world with a thin silvery light. Can I not... Do I have to go this way? Dupe. You walk over to the pillory. Behind it, a gallows looms, noose swaying in the breeze. The stocks are empty. It seems prisoners returned to the cells overnight. Well then, let's see what happens now. Perhaps the dogs? Nope. No. Look at the tower, look at the road, make a move. Let's make a move. Really? I'm not allowed to go that way now? I've dreaded this for a long time. I suspect this is something really bad. You sidle around the edge of the building. The road onwards is now within reach. If I wait for the guards to turn in for the evening... You size up the road ahead. The guard post is well placed. A long, clear stretch of road leads in both directions before turning around the slope to the north. Let's wait and hope the dogs don't spot me or smell me on that. Well, if the dogs sense me, let's hope the guards just go, oh, they're just being, they're just acting up a bit. You wait, watching. The guards haven't noticed you and are mostly concentrating on the road to the square rather than the road behind them. I'll give it a try then. You slip back onto the road north of the guard post and walk as slowly as I possibly can. Right, walk quickly, get away before the dogs can smell me. Walk slowly, quietly. You walk slowly up the road, trying to draw no attention, but you've barely gone 5 steps before there is a shout from behind. Run is the obvious, but let's turn back to face them. You turn around. A guard walks up to you. Are you blind? This road is closed, she shouts. Oh, sorry, I didn't understand. Of course, yeah. You reply with a courteous nod. You make your way past the guards once more, and they watch through narrowed eyes as you go. Wait, another one declares suddenly. You don't think that's... Could be. Another agrees. A moment later, they have grabbed you, arms twisted up behind your back. Well, this is a problem, and... Oh, hello, what? Well, that's one way of getting up there, I suppose. Bound and gagged, you are dragged by your ankles by 2 guards who mutter about the trouble caused. They gossip to passing companions about you. The tale of your exploits will soon spread through Mampang. This will make it difficult to blend in from now on, should you escape. If I'm bound and gagged, I can't cast a spell. I also can't really try and bribe them. Struggle? You know what? I think I am going to struggle. Out of time and place. Back, all the way back to before they found me. Come on. Come on. Leaving the party? Yeah, sure, it's before that. And boom! Yes. Back into the bronze dome. You stand within the dome, a curious warped space the size of a small room. The gleam on your sword edge fades. The skeleton is here to greet you once more, hands raised to the ceiling as though dancing. I must not interact with the skeleton. At all. I'll look at the walls. You trace the edges of the dome. The smooth wall glitters more gold than bronze, without a trace of grime from the city, and no trace of the opening you made to come in here. You look over the skeleton. It stands with feet apart, clad in tattered sorcerer's robes, with hands cupped towards the ceiling. You cannot see what it is holding, but the glow lights up the room. You let your eyes unfocus for a moment and see channels of starlight streaming through the dome into the hands of the skeleton. Magical power is pouring through its hands and spreading throughout the space. The vibration you feel is the channeling of great power. I will cast a spell, just to see if, not dock. Off, no. So what I don't want to do is counter this, right? Walk, no. Zap, absolutely not. No, I clicked on the S. It's right here. The S is right here. Sus, no, I don't think there's danger. I don't think the skeleton needs to be depressed. What then? How did I speak to the goddess before? And is it even possible? I don't think I should risk it. I think I should just depart. You raise your sword and pass out of the dome once more. And this time I think I'll go straight to the guards. You leave the dome behind and return to the alleys. Darkness closes in. You need to rest, especially on an empty stomach. Wandering blindly, you stumble out onto the main track once more. And here I can rest. But I probably should not. You have had enough of these streets. You cannot afford to lose your way for good. The fire at the crossroads is still burning. Spend the night by the fire. You put your pack down against one side of the street, a little way from the circle of firelight. The group around the fire pays you no attention. Let's play dangerously. You have not yet eaten today, but you have no provisions, only a single vial of blimberry juice, which I will absolutely save for a counter spell later on. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you, and hopefully dream of very little. What is left of the night is kept busy with visions, and all the while you hear distant laughter from the east. Always from the east. You wake next morning to find the narrow streets still in darkness. You get quickly to your feet once more. So apparently the dogs were too far away to control. I could make the guards stupid and persuade them that I'm allowed to go past and they might just escort me past everyone. Would the other guards let them? Probably not. Right, well, I'm not going to attack them. I'm moving. Time to see what else Mampang has to offer. No guard uniforms, sadly. Let's head on down the alley. You enter an alley littered with refuse. Buildings either side are leaning or collapsed. In the dim half-light, you nearly trip over two men who are leaning against a wall. They straighten and turn to you. "Seems we have a visitor," one says. The other creeps up behind you once more. "Bless you, my children." You raise your hand in wordless blessing. The sightless creature nods its head in reply. "Effie be with you too," the creature replies and stands aside. You continue along the road. A lane leads off. The early morning sun makes the air glow. You must keep going. Indeed, I must. If I go to the monks, would they lend me money to gamble again? Could I maybe get enough money to buy lots of the things from a marketplace, which would be useful? Yes, possibly. It would take an immense amount of time, and it wouldn't be very fun watching. I'm sure there are some among you who would really enjoy watching me play the gambling game, but for 2 or 3 episodes in a row maybe. But not right now. Not now. Let's just head over towards the guard post. So running may be a good option, but no, just look at the towns, Make a move. The guard approaches again, and I will cast a spell. Now, if I make one guard stupid, that's only one guard. The other guards and the dogs are considered too far away. So, no gack. Worship may be. Illusion. Let's see what it does. Yes! Yes! Looking to the stars, you craft the magic, and the bracelet at your wrist begins to ache and throb. You have just a moment in which to decide what illusion to create. For a few moments, you will have control over what the guard sees and hears. Open the ground of a great fissure, set her armor on fire, become the Archmage. Will it last long enough for me to get past all the others as well? Well, let's find out. You craft an illusion over yourself. The guard stares at you in amazement. Archmage, she murmurs. We were never told. Stand aside before I strike you down. Gotta act the part. Gotta play the part. Yes, of course, she answers smartly, nodding and staring at the floor. Will walk past her, pay her no more attention, as if I am so powerful that she literally does not matter. I'm not going to ask her what lies along this road. It's literally my own home. And ironically, the whole thing about the Archmage making out I am the villain. I have literally become the villain for now. You sweep past her up the road, accompanied by the clatter of her armour on the ground as she kowtows behind you. And onwards up the path. You continue climbing up the North Road. I will look back and see if anyone has started to follow me. You cast a glance backwards. No one is following you or paying you any attention. I will gaze ahead, towards my destination. The road curves around a spur of black rock rising towards a walled encampment. A few narrowed windows overlook the path, and for a moment you catch the beady eye of a birdman watching you climb. I probably don't look like the Archmage to him. You keep climbing. There is no turning back. That had a very Golden Dragon Gamebooks feel to it. The bird's eye at the window and no turning back. The road ends in a small wooden door built into a wooden palisade. The door appears unguarded. Look, if there's one way to arouse suspicion in this situation, it's try to climb over the wall. You tug at the door. It is locked. No dop? Apparently no dop. You haul yourself up using the rivets in the wood to climb. After a short haul, you are at the top and drop easily down onto the other side. At which point I may regret having entered into this final location. We're not quite at the top yet. You pick yourself up. You stand in a narrow alleyway, the walls high on both sides. The feel is suddenly that of a fortress, tightly managed and harshly growing like a fungus on the outside of the central tower. There will be no way back now. The sun has reached its highest point now, and keep my head down and look around. If I look about, look up, look around, I'll look like I don't know my way around this place. If I keep my head down, I'll look like I'm not trying to, don't want any trouble, just usual boring everyday business, walk along, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Probably the best thing to do in this situation. This does not look like we can look inside it. This one, we can look inside here, definitely. So let's just, stay low. Keep my head down. You keep your head bowed low under your cowl, as if in contemplation. They are looking for you, most likely, and anyone here could be willing to turn you in. The casual cruelty of this place will only grow worse. You are entering the hornet's nest now, and so I enter. The alleyway runs to the right. but on the left is a low iron doorway. The door down to the city is locked. Try a key in the city door. Look at the doorway. Do I have a key? Key from the belly of the snake. The key to a Baklands tower found in the belly of a snake. Yeah, that's not going to help with anything here. I'll look to the right. The alleyway is narrow and disappears out of sight between the outer and inner walls of the fortress, whereas the doorway to the left has a tiny grill at eye level from which floats a rich smell of what might be burnt meat. And while that may be very appetizing, I cannot afford to go that way. You could approach the door or make your way down the alley, but there is no way back over the palisade. Alley it is, then. McBeal can sod off. She's not in this game. You take your way along the alley, keeping your gaze low. Luckily, you pass no one. This area seems quite dead, and we should wonder why. The blazing sun cannot seem to warm this place. You pass a low wooden door. The door is unmarked and appears unlocked. The door is warped and rain-sodden. Looking ahead, you see doors leading off on either side of the alley. You had better keep moving. Right, if that door has been warped and is drenched, it will stick and be a pain in the backside to open or close. It will shudder and stick and make a lot of noise. I'm not going to try. And even if the game is going to let me in, it's just probably not safe enough. I should remember to search almost everywhere, but not everywhere, because there are traps for the the over-inquisitive? Yeah, let's go over that. The alley turns slightly here, following the curve of the cliff. At the far end you spot two birdman guards standing by an iron door. They have either not noticed you, or are paying no attention. Another narrow door is on the right, a little further along the alley, and I may need to cast a spell as I approach them too. It would be a good idea not to stand around too long. You head towards the next door in the alleyway. The guards at the far end of the alley take no notice. The door is about chest height and is hanging open. A small bell with a pull string is set above it. I'll ring the bell. You pull on the string and the bell rings gently. There are some scuffling sounds from within. I will wait politely like a monk. After a few seconds, the door opens a fraction more. Well, come in then. You can't see who is speaking, but they have a very squeaky voice. Look, I've come up, I've rung the bell, I'm going inside. This is all consistent, as a consistent form of behaviour will not attract the attention of the guards. It will appear I have some purpose here. Hopefully not becoming a prisoner. Oh, that's some kind of goblin. Or possibly an orc with a very squeaky voice. I suppose that could be an axe with a very twisted blade up there on the shelf behind him. Ducking to enter, you discover that everything in this room is tiny. Chairs at knee height, a 3-foot-long bed, and ceiling to match. Precariously sitting in one of the chairs is either a very small ogre or a hairless, ugly dwarf. Will this room magically make me smaller if I spend too long in here? Greetings, you declare. The creature blinks once and turns its head, finally noticing you. Well, it demands, come to laugh, or have you come to bless me? This is some kind of mutant, but a fairly unremarkable one. Its main appearance is one of stockiness and grumpiness. Why would I laugh?
I'm not stupid, you know. People think I am, but I'm not. Bah!
Looking at the room, you notice how disproportionate the creature is. It is far too large for the tiny furniture. Even though it is small, the room appears designed to make it seem like a giant. What are you?
Nibdum,
Nibdum replies.
I'm here because the Archmage finds my condition amusing.
Your condition?
It grimaces. I'm a mutant. A failed experiment.
What sort of experiment?
You might well ask, it scowls. The Archmage was trying to cross ogres and dwarfs. He wanted something strong and loyal as an ogre, but small enough to fit into the mines.
What happened then?
Look at me, the creature answers with disgust. Can't you see what happened?
Do you know the Archmage?
You ask. Hardly. He's the one who forces me to live in this pint-sized room, though he rarely visits.
You haven't seen... Wait. Can you make him come to you? You ask, wondering if you can lure the Archmage from his tower and then sneak in there and grab the crown while he's out.
Nibdum shakes his head. I'm like a favourite plant to him. I can't do anything. Can't do anything. Whether he stops to water me or prune me is up to him.
That passage outside ends in a door, you remark.
But the guards won't let you through, Nibdum finishes. This place, I swear, if you all stopped scheming and backstabbing for the Archmage's favour, Mampang would conquer the world.
Can you help me?
It nods. If you were kind to me, unlike those two guarding, so... No, it nods. You were kind to me, unlike those two guarding, so I'll tell you something. The one with only one wing, Felm, he's greedy, but not for gold. The other, Bizlat, will be a problem. She's all for duty, that one. You'll need to deal with them, though. There's no other way through.
Except for being captured. I'm not going to mention that, because then he might ask why I could be captured. Thank you.
It smiles. A pleasure. Maybe you could kill Felm if bribing him doesn't work. He's a right pain, that one. Thanks for the chat, Nibdum says. I don't get to talk to many people these days.
It stays in its chair, smiling ever so slightly. As he set me up. Not entirely sure. As strong and as loyal as an ogre, he could most definitely have set me up. You're in the alley once more. You had best not hang around out in the open, but he doesn't like the way he's being treated. Hey look, there's a building right over here as well. You're nearing the end of the alleyway and the guarded iron door. Another rather narrow door is nearby. I'll listen at the narrow door. Leaning over to press your ear against the narrow door, you hear high-pitched murmurs through the old wood. I'll peek inside. You peer through a crack in the door. You see a low table scattered with feathers. You try to shift your view, but there isn't much to see. Definitely feathers. I'll step away from the door. Standing once more, you see that one of the birdmen by the iron door is watching you intently. He is, in no doubt, on the lookout for the feared Analander. You cast a sidelong glance at the guards by the far door, sizing them up. They are birdmen. Tall, strong, with savage-clawed talons and beaks like pickaxes. One is missing a wing. They have seen you, but do not approach or call out, instead holding to their posts. It is most unnerving. The iron door is a large slab guarded by two birdmen. They have seen you, but have not yet to react. This door must lead into the inner fortress proper. From here you could slip into the narrow doorway or approach the guards. Maybe I should. This is probably a guard room. Man, if there's a guard uniform in here, there could also be trouble. Birdie squeaking. And I've seen birdmen looking out of a window up here somewhere. I presumed it was a window more visible from around here, so one of these. I see a table and 3 stools. Definitely looks like a guard post. Not attracting the attention of whoever's in here would probably be a good idea. But I do need to find out more about the secrets of the crown. Yep, birdmen. You nod at the guard at the end of the passage, then swing open the door. The chamber you enter is rough, as though carved from a spur of rock. It seems I was correct in my suspicion. The ceiling is open to the sky, but as you enter, 3 birdmen look up from their dice games, staring at you intently. You're reminded of an Analand phrase, hiding from snattercats in a strangle bush. Runaway's a bit obvious. Cast a spell. Ooh. Ooh. There are 3 of them. They are together. Let's see what options are available. So I could sharpen up my sword. Turn 1 to stone. There's 3. So any single target things would be a bad idea. God. Sounds like a good idea. I wonder if I could pretend to be the Archmage to bluff through all 3. Mud. Quicksand. How quickly could they take wing and break out of it? Yaz. I'd go invisible. They'd start looking for me loudly. Hot. Not ideal. Tell? Seems like a really good idea. Will I only have time for 1 spell? Tell will be less intrusive than God, but it might just tell me what's already pretty obvious. Can go Gak to scare them. I don't need to scare them if... What will they worship, though? It wouldn't necessarily be the Archmage, would it? Will I have to choose? I kind of really want to do this, so I'm going to give it a go. Did I create an illusion or illusion of worship before? You spin the starlight into a pattern around you, and your jewel of gold begins to shine and gleam. The effect on the birdmen is immediate. Their eyes open wide. "You have come!" one cries. "After all this time!" another chimes in. A moment later they are prostrating themselves at your feet. "Will you aid me?" They nod. "Of course!" "Analand," one of the others declares, "I'm so glad you have come!" You believe me to be the Analander? Don't plant a seed of doubt in their minds. Why would these birdmen worship the Analander? That seems very odd. Would this imply that the illusion is beginning to wear off? "I have," you reply. The creatures begin to stand slowly. The effect of the spell has not diminished, but the glow from the jewels seems to fade all the same. It is as though the magic is no longer required.
We are no ordinary birdmen, the stocky one says. My name is Pewit. This is Xetra and Fellwhip. We are the Samaritans of Shin. It is a pleasure to meet the Analander.
Is this a trap? Samaritans?
We are a group of birdmen dedicated to overthrowing the Archmage. Ours has been a very long road.
Why do you hate the Archmage?
Because our people are not free, Pewit shouts. Xetra glares at him and he quiets. We might dance in the skies, we might be poets, philosophers, musicians, but the Archmage keeps us as mere brutes.
I'm not going to ask if they're here to steal the crown. What can you tell me about the Citadel? You ask.
It is a terrible place, the birdman replies sadly, but the people themselves are not terrible. There is hope in every heart, only it has been buried a long time.
Pewit clasps your hand and smiles broadly.
But you are the one we have been waiting for. Come, we will help you.
How can you help me? Without revealing me.
How else? We'll take you to him.
To him? When?
Pewit caws. Now! 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 Now!
The creature stretches its wings and half flaps, half leaps onto a crossbeam below the open roof.
Will you come with me?
He lowers his lower claws for you to stand beneath. I will look at the claws. Each talon is razor sharp. The muscles joining them to the feet are like the pistons of mining machines. You are quite certain with the slightest movement they would crumble your bones to dust. These talons are twitching as the birdman waits, eager to get his claws on me. And yet the spell worked, and it would seem the spell is no longer necessary. This feels so suspicious. Now, how else? We'll take you to him. Do they mean the Archmage? If they do, I suspect I am not yet ready. I could offer to return here. I'll back away.
I will not. Bah! Replies Pewit. Then begone, feeble creature, and die alone.
Xetra smiles with half her beak.
We will aid you in other ways, if we can. Now go and keep our secret secret.
With a final glance at your secret allies, you leave the room. I may return here if I need their assistance to get to the Archmage, but they may help me in other ways. Now let's go back outside. Perhaps they could help me deal with these two guards out here. I suspect it will be something later. You step out into the alley once more. Only the guarded iron door remains. Beyond the iron door you can make out movement in the yard beyond. Well, let's head towards the iron door and hope it can be opened from this side. You approach the iron door at the alley's end. The two birdmen, guards, stiffen at your approach, gripping their halberds more tightly. Greetings, you say.
What do you want?
The birdman says, clipping her words. I need to pass. The birdman snorts.
You're on official business, are you?
I have a message for the Archmage. Too generic. I am the ambassador from Khare. If so, why am I dressed as a monk? I can make it worth your while. She is the one who's all about business. She's not the one who can be bribed. All about business, though. What would she know about what an ambassador from Khare would be dressed like?
I have a message from the Archmage. The bird maid howls with laughter. Ho 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 ho! The Archmage? No one sees the Archmage. What a crock! She continues to laugh even as she slams the butt of her halberd into your groin, sending you flying backwards. You land on your back, the impact forcing the air from your lungs. I'll get up before casting a spell. You roll sideways, attempting to push yourself upright, but the bird maid prances forward to step on your wrist. You will stay down, she insists. The bird maid holds the blade of her halberd to your neck. Her companion rouses himself, rubbing his now cracked beak. They truss you up and toss you through the iron door into the courtyard beyond. And now I'm all tied up. Oh, this is remarkably similar. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's go for a big old rewind. And what I'll do then is replay this section. Wait, it's back here, isn't it? Like, come on. There we go. I'll replay this section off camera, do exactly the same, except handle the two birdmen differently. Look at the walls, examine the skeleton, and take my leave. And with that, I've got a bit of a way to go. So I'm going to end the recording here, because I might not have much longer to record. And we'll pick it all up in front of the birdmen again. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye for now.